What if the secret to a longer, healthier life wasn't locked in a lab, but living quietly in the hearts of America's oldest citizens? Welcome to Elder Secrets, where wisdom never retires. In today's episode, we unveil the top 10 longevity secrets in America. Real habits, real people, real science. Let's begin.
Welcome to another deep dive. When most people think about longevity, their minds often jump to these exotic superfoods from far-off places, or maybe some incredibly expensive, cutting-edge anti-aging treatments only available to the ultra-wealthy.
Right. That's the common perception, things that seem out of reach for most of us.
Exactly. But here's the truly remarkable truth we're going to uncover today. Some of the most powerful secrets for living longer and better are actually hiding in plain sight, right here in America.
Being practiced every day.
Yeah, they're being practiced by ordinary people who've simply discovered extraordinary ways to extend their health span and their lifespan. Okay, let's unpack this.
I'm ready.
Our mission today is to uncover these surprising yet incredibly practical strategies for living not just longer, but fundamentally better. We're going to explore 10 scientifically backed approaches that are making a profound difference in communities across the country.
And these aren't pie-in-the-sky ideas. We're talking about tangible things.
Totally tangible. We're talking about everything from simple daily habits that cost you nothing but a little time and attention to groundbreaking research emerging from our top universities.
Real science backing it up.
And here's the real goal. This isn't solely about adding more years to your life, though that's certainly a fantastic byproduct. It's truly about adding life to your years.
That's the key distinction, isn't it? Quality over just quantity.
Absolutely. What good is living to 100 if you're not thriving at 90, full of vitality and joy? We're aiming for boundless energy, razor-sharp mental clarity, profound emotional resilience, and the sheer capacity to enjoy every single stage of your life to its absolute fullest.
A much richer picture of aging.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Whether you're 25 and just starting to think about your future, 45 and perhaps feeling the first subtle whispers of aging, or 65 and absolutely determined to make your golden years truly shine. This deep dive is for you.
Great. It really is about transforming the entire aging experience, not merely delaying its onset. And our first secret, coming in at number 10 on our countdown, is one that's perhaps the most often overlooked. Yet the research behind it is incredibly compelling.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
We're talking about the profound power of purpose-driven living.
Purpose-driven living. Okay. It sounds a bit abstract, doesn't it? Almost like something you'd discuss in a philosophy seminar, not a concrete strategy for adding years to your life.
It does sound that way initially.
But you're saying the science makes a very strong, measurable case for it.
Absolutely, and it's surprisingly tangible. Dr. Patricia Boyle at the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center in Chicago has dedicated over 2 decades to studying what she calls purpose in life.
2 decades, wow.
Yes, really long-term work. Her extensive longitudinal research, which has followed thousands of Americans across their lifespans, reveals a stunning finding. Individuals with a high sense of purpose live, on average, a remarkable 7 years longer than those who report having little to no purpose.
7 years. Just from having a sense of purpose.
7 years. It's a profound impact, often exceeding what many medical interventions can promise in terms of pure lifespan extension. And what's genuinely fascinating here is it isn't about grand, world-changing ambitions or finding your singular destiny.
Okay, that's important. So it doesn't have to be monumental.
Not at all. Purpose can be incredibly simple, deeply personal, and yet profoundly meaningful. It could be dedicating yourself to being a truly devoted grandparent, mentoring young people in your local community, or even meticulously maintaining a garden that brings you immense personal joy and connects you to nature.
Right.
The core idea is having something that provides a profound sense of meaning and direction, a tangible reason to get up each morning and engage with the day, a feeling of being needed or contributing.
It's a powerful distinction. Not grand ambitions, but just a profound reason to get up.
I love that. And we've seen so many examples of this in the sources we've explored. Think about Margaret Chen, a 92-year-old retired teacher from Portland, Oregon.
After retirement, she could have easily embraced a life of pure leisure. Instead, she chose to volunteer twice a week at a local literacy center, teaching English to new immigrants.
Still contributing her skills.
Exactly. She told researchers, and this is a direct quote, "Every Tuesday and Thursday, I wake up knowing someone is counting on me. These students aren't just learning English, they're building new lives, and I get to be part of that journey."
You can just feel the energy in that.
You really can. You can practically feel the vitality and purpose radiating from that statement. And while the concept of purpose is universal, like the Japanese idea of ikigai, meaning reason for being,
Which gets talked about a lot now.
it does. But you absolutely don't need to adopt a foreign philosophy or change your cultural identity to tap into this. It's about finding what genuinely resonates with you here and now within your own community and context.
Exactly. And the biological mechanisms behind this purpose-driven longevity are quite fascinating, truly connecting our inner world to our physical health.
Okay, so how does that work? How does purpose affect biology?
Well, when we experience a strong sense of purpose, our bodies actually produce lower levels of cortisol, which is that notorious stress hormone known to accelerate cellular aging and promote inflammation,
Right, cortisol, the big bad one.
the big one. Additionally, we see enhanced immune function, reduced systemic inflammation throughout the body, and improved cardiovascular health, all of which are critical for long-term well-being.
So it's like a whole body benefit.
It really is. It's as if having a clear reason to live literally signals our cells to continue thriving and functioning optimally. Dr. Steve Cole at UCLA has gone even deeper, studying the genetic expression patterns in individuals with varying levels of life purpose.
Looking at the genes themselves.
Exactly. His groundbreaking research indicates that purposeful individuals tend to have genes associated with longevity turned on or expressed more frequently, while genes linked to inflammation and cellular aging are dialed down.
Wow.
This is remarkable, almost poetic evidence that our internal sense of meaning can profoundly influence our biology at its most fundamental genetic level.
It's genuinely mind-blowing, isn't it? That our sense of meaning literally tells our cells to keep thriving. So for our listeners who might be thinking, okay, I get the science, but where do I even begin to cultivate this sense of purpose?
Yeah, the practical side.
What are some practical first steps? Some questions we can ask ourselves or actionable steps we can take to tap into this powerful secret?
Well, for listeners, I'd say begin by engaging in a bit of self-reflection. Ask yourself, what activities make you genuinely lose track of time? Where you just get lost in it.
Flow state activities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What problems in the world, even local ones, genuinely concern you or ignite a passion to help? What skills or knowledge do you possess that could realistically benefit others, even in a small way?
That's a good starting point.
Sometimes our purpose reveals itself not in grand epiphanies, but in consistent, joyful action.
That's it. Your purpose doesn't have to be your main career. It can be a passion project, volunteer work, or a personal mission. You can start incredibly small, almost imperceptibly. It's tiny stuff. Maybe it's reading to children at your local library just once a week, or perhaps committing to helping an elderly neighbor with their grocery shopping or yard work.
Things that build connection, too.
Right. It could even be learning an entirely new skill that you might eventually share or teach to others, or simply starting a blog about something you're deeply passionate about that brings value to others. The crucial element is finding something that authentically connects you to others and truly imbues your daily life with structure, direction, and profound meaning.
And it's okay if it changes.
That's what I was just going to say. Let's not forget, purpose isn't static. It's a living thing. It can and often does evolve throughout your life. What deeply motivates you at 30 might be entirely different at 60 or 80.
And that's completely normal.
Perfectly normal and healthy. The important thing is to regularly check in with yourself, adapting as life changes, and ensuring you consistently maintain that underlying sense of direction and profound meaning in your life.
Well said. So, from the profound depths of purpose, we shift to something equally foundational: how we fuel our bodies. Our next secret, number 9, dives into a nutritional revolution quietly happening in kitchens across America.
Okay, nutrition, always a big topic.
It is. We're talking about the Mediterranean diet, but with a uniquely American twist. You've likely heard of the Mediterranean diet, but the fascinating part is how creatively Americans have adapted its core principles to work seamlessly with local lifestyles, regional produce, and available ingredients.
Making it more doable. Right?
Exactly, making it far more accessible and sustainable for daily life.
That's a great point. The traditional Mediterranean diet, as we know, is based on the eating patterns of countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain, and it's consistently linked to some of the longest lifespans globally.
Those blue zones often feature it.
Right, often featuring communities with remarkable numbers of centenarians. But you're right, the idea that you don't need to live on the Mediterranean coast to reap these benefits is absolutely key. Americans are proving that every single day, showing its incredible adaptability.
Precisely. Dr. Walter Willett from Harvard School of Public Health has been at the forefront of studying dietary patterns and their link to longevity for over 4 decades. Real long-term research.
Decades of data there.
Huge amounts. His extensive research unequivocally shows that Americans who consistently follow Mediterranean-style eating patterns demonstrate a remarkable 20% lower risk of death from any cause.
20% lower risk of death, any cause. That's substantial.
It really is. Furthermore, they exhibit a 30% reduced risk of heart disease alongside significantly lower rates of cancer and Alzheimer's disease.
So major killers are impacted.
Definitely. To break down what Mediterranean eating practically looks like for Americans, it's built upon a foundation of abundant vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and generous, almost celebratory use of extra virgin olive oil.
Lots of plants, healthy fats.
Yes. Fish and seafood are regular components, often consumed a few times a week, while red meat is consumed sparingly, more as a condiment than a main course.
So less focus on red meat.
Much less. Traditionally, moderate amounts of red wine are included, though this remains an optional element and certainly not a requirement for health benefits.
Right, the wine is optional. Good to clarify.
Very optional.
And this is where the American twist truly shines, highlighting the diet's incredible flexibility. Think about Sarah Martinez from Austin, Texas. She embraced the Mediterranean approach after a cholesterol warning at 48.
Okay.
She initially feared giving up her favorite foods or having to import obscure ingredients, but she found a beautiful way to adapt it. She told us she makes incredible meals using local Texas ingredients in Mediterranean style.
That's the key, using local stuff.
Exactly. For example, using pecans grown right there in Texas instead of imported olives, and Gulf Coast seafood instead of Mediterranean fish. The principles are identical: plant-heavy, healthy fats, lean protein, but the flavors, as she put it, are uniquely Texan.
Love that. Uniquely Texan.
This localization is essential for sustainability. In California, it's about incorporating abundant avocados and citrus. In the Pacific Northwest, wild salmon and berries become staples.
Makes perfect sense.
The Midwest embraces local beans, root vegetables, and grains. This diet's true beauty lies in its adaptability to what's locally available and culturally relevant.
Absolutely. And while those regional adaptations make it delicious and sustainable, the real longevity magic, the why it works so powerfully, often comes down to this diet's incredible anti-inflammatory properties.
Inflammation again. Seems to be a recurring theme.
It really is. Chronic inflammation is now widely recognized as a major driver of aging and a precursor to numerous age-related diseases, from heart disease to neurodegeneration.
So fighting inflammation is key for longevity.
It's crucial. The Mediterranean diet, by its very nature, is a powerful anti-inflammatory tool, rich in compounds that actively combat this process. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish, a vast array of antioxidants from vibrant fruits and vegetables, and healthy monounsaturated fats from olive oil and nuts.
All those good things working together.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this dietary pattern directly combats a major driver of age-related disease, fundamentally promoting cellular health and overall vitality from the inside out.
So, practically speaking, how are Americans implementing these Mediterranean principles into their everyday busy lives, especially when they might not live near a sprawling outdoor market? How do you make it work?
Yeah, good question. It's all about conscious and consistent substitutions and rethinking meal composition. Instead of butter or inflammatory oils like, say, soybean or corn oil, they're cooking with abundant extra virgin olive oil.
Simple swap.
Simple swap. Instead of reaching for highly processed snacks, they're grabbing a handful of nuts or a piece of fruit. They're making fish and seafood a regular feature, perhaps twice a week, and prioritizing plant-based proteins like lentils, beans, and chickpeas on other nights instead of red meat every evening.
Shifting the protein focus.
Definitely. And they're choosing whole grain breads, brown rice, farro, and quinoa over refined grains like white bread or pasta. It's a shift in mindset as much as ingredients.
That makes perfect sense. And what about meal timing? I know traditional Mediterranean cultures often eat their largest meal midday and have a lighter dinner. Is that a timing adjustment Americans are finding beneficial, or are they finding their own unique rhythm with it?
That's another interesting adaptation. Many are experimenting with precisely that, making lunch their most substantial meal and enjoying something lighter, like a hearty soup and salad, for dinner.
Which might feel counterintuitive to the typical American dinner pattern.
It can be, But this timing adjustment can support better digestion and optimize metabolism by allowing the body more time for repair overnight, both of which are crucial for long-term longevity.
Okay, gives your body a break overnight.
Exactly. And a very American adaptation we've seen is the Mediterranean-style meal prep. Busy individuals are dedicating a couple of hours on Sunday afternoon to preparing large batches of roasted vegetables, cooking grains in bulk like quinoa or farro, and mixing simple vinaigrettes with olive oil and herbs.
The Sunday meal prep ritual.
You got it. This proactive approach makes it incredibly easy to maintain healthy eating habits throughout a busy work week, minimizing the need for last-minute, less healthy choices.
Makes healthy eating convenient, which is half the battle.
It really is. And beyond the plate, the social aspect of Mediterranean eating is equally vital for longevity, and it's something Americans are consciously trying to integrate.
Right, it's not just what you eat, but how.
Precisely. In traditional Mediterranean cultures, meals are shared experiences, savored slowly with family and friends, fostering deep connection and reducing stress. Americans are rediscovering the profound importance of family dinners, community potlucks, and shared meals with loved ones.
Bringing back that connection around food.
Yes. Food, in this context, transcends mere fuel. It becomes a powerful vehicle for social connection, which, as we'll discuss, is itself a robust longevity factor. Research from the Blue Zones, those distinct regions of the world boasting the highest concentrations of centenarians, consistently underscores that balanced, sustainable diet quality eaten with joy and company holds far more significance than any single superfood.
No magic bullet, just a pattern.
Exactly. It's the overall pattern, the entire lifestyle wrapped around food that truly matters.
That's a fantastic segue to secret number 8, community connection and social networks. For so long we've rightly focused on diet and exercise for physical health. But what's truly startling, and something that's really shifting perspectives, is how the research now indicates loneliness and social isolation are as dangerous to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
That statistic always stops me in my tracks. 15 cigarettes a day.
It's staggering. That's a statistic that genuinely demands attention and makes you rethink what healthy truly means.
It is indeed a sobering statistic. Dr. Julian Holt-Lundstad at Brigham Young University conducted a landmark meta-analysis, pooling data from 148 studies involving over 300,000 participants. Huge data set.
Massive study.
Her findings were quite stunning. Individuals with strong social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival compared to those with weak social ties.
50%? Just from having strong connections.
A 50% survival advantage. This profound effect remained consistent across demographics, age, sex, initial health status, and even cause of death. What's particularly noteworthy about the American approach to fostering community for longevity is that it's not solely about accumulating a large number of casual friends.
Quality over quantity again.
Very much so. Instead, it emphasizes cultivating diverse, meaningful connections that provide various forms of support. Americans are increasingly forming what researchers term social convoys, dynamic networks of relationships that evolve throughout life, consistently offering emotional support, practical assistance, and vital social engagement.
Social convoys. I like that term. Like you travel through life with this support network.
Exactly. It adapts with you.
And we have a compelling story that illustrates this beautifully. Consider Robert Kim, a 78-year-old retired engineer from Seattle. After losing his wife 5 years ago, Robert found himself increasingly isolated.
A very common, difficult situation.
Very common. His adult children lived far away, and many of his longtime friends had either moved or passed on. But instead of accepting loneliness as an inevitable part of aging, Robert made a deliberate, proactive choice to build new connections.
He took action.
He really did. He started by joining a hiking group for seniors, meeting people who shared his love for the outdoors. Then he began volunteering at a local food bank, connecting him with people who shared his values and passion for service. He even joined a book club at his local library and started attending community lectures on topics he enjoyed.
Building connections through shared interests.
Precisely. Robert's social calendar today is busier than many people half his age, filled with genuine reciprocal connections. As he put it, and this is a quote, "The key was being intentional about it. I realized that community doesn't just happen to you. You have to create it.
That's powerful. You have to create it.
But once you start putting yourself out there, you discover there are so many people looking for the same connections you are."
That's inspiring. And Robert's story beautifully highlights the profound biological mechanisms at play. Strong, supportive relationships actively reduce stress hormones, like cortisol.
There's cortisol again.
It keeps coming up. They enhance immune function and even influence gene expression in ways that directly promote cellular repair and regeneration.
Wow, down to the genetic level again.
Yes. Individuals with robust social networks consistently exhibit lower rates of depression, superior cognitive function, and a reduced risk of dementia because that consistent positive interaction acts as a protective buffer for the brain and body.
So connection protects your brain too.
Significantly.
And American communities are truly innovating in how they foster these vital connections. We're seeing the rise of intentional neighborhoods, where different generations choose to live close and share resources, blurring the lines between neighbors and extended family.
Like modern villages, almost.
Kind of. There are community gardens where neighbors grow food together and build bonds over shared effort, tool libraries for sharing equipment, and informal networks where people help each other with everything from pet care to tech troubleshooting.
Building real interdependence.
Yeah. A particularly American innovation is the concept of chosen family, creating family-like bonds with people who aren't blood relatives. This is incredibly important for many, especially older adults whose biological families might be geographically distant or emotionally unavailable.
Right. Filling that potential gap.
These chosen families provide the same profound support as traditional families. Someone to call in an emergency, people to celebrate holidays with, and individuals who genuinely care about your well-being. Even the workplace is evolving.
Which is interesting because work can be isolating too.
It can be. But progressive companies are creating mentorship programs and designing spaces that encourage informal interactions to foster connections that contribute to longevity, recognizing that well-being extends beyond the professional.
That's a smart investment for them too.
Definitely.
Furthermore, religious and spiritual communities consistently serve as potent sources of social connection, purpose, and stress reduction, all contributing significantly to longevity. Regular attendance at religious services, for instance, has been correlated with increased lifespan.
Due to the community aspect mainly.
Largely due to the built-in social support and sense of meaning they provide. However, it's crucial to note that secular groups focused on activities like meditation, philosophy, or ethical living can offer similar profound benefits, as the core is the connection and shared values.
So it's the connection itself, not necessarily the specific belief system.
Exactly. The key takeaway for building longevity-supporting social networks lies in their diversity and intentionality. You want a variety of relationships that serve different functions. Some for recreation and fun, others for deep emotional support, mentors who guide you, and individuals whom you can help in return, fostering a sense of reciprocity.
Different roles for different folks.
Precisely. The most resilient social networks comprise people from diverse ages, backgrounds, and life experiences, providing a comprehensive, adaptable web of support that can weather life's inevitable changes.
Okay, that makes sense. Moving on to secret number 7, we're talking about something that has truly gone from what was once considered counterculture to a mainstream health practice.
It really has shifted.
Now prescribed by doctors and embraced by people from all walks of life. Stress management through mindfulness and meditation. For many, the idea of just being in the moment can feel like a radical act in our fast-paced world, but the payoff for longevity is immense.
Indeed. The direct link between chronic, unmanaged stress and accelerated aging is one of the most firmly established findings in longevity research.
We keep mentioning stress and cortisol.
Because it's so fundamental. When we are in a constant state of fight or flight, our bodies relentlessly produce elevated levels of cortisol and other stress hormones. These hormones quite literally speed up the aging process at a cellular level.
Actually damaging our cells.
Yes, causing damage to our DNA, impairing immune function, and significantly increasing systemic inflammation throughout the body. What's even more compelling is the work of Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, a Nobel Prize laureate famous for her groundbreaking research on telomeres.
Ah, the telomeres. The caps on our DNA.
Exactly, those protective caps like the plastic tips on shoelaces that naturally shorten as we age. Her studies have definitively shown that chronic stress dramatically accelerates telomere shortening.
Stress literally shortens our telomeres.
It does, but here's the breakthrough. In a pioneering study with your colleague, Dr. Alyssa Eppel, Dr. Blackburn's team discovered that women who engaged in mindfulness meditation for just 8 weeks showed significant increases in telomerase activity.
Telomerase, that's the enzyme that rebuilds them.
Exactly, the very enzyme responsible for rebuilding and maintaining telomeres. Think about that. A mental practice influencing your genetic aging and literally helping to preserve your cellular integrity.
Wow. Mind over matter, almost.
It raises an important question. How can a psychological intervention have such a profound genetic impact, effectively influencing aging at the deepest cellular level?
It's genuinely mind-blowing, isn't it? And the beauty of how Americans are embracing this practice is that it's not about sitting on a mountaintop or adhering to some strict traditional form.
Not necessarily, no.
It's about incredibly practical approaches that fit into genuinely busy lives. Take Maria Rodriguez, a 38-year-old nurse and single mother from Chicago.
High-stress job, demanding life.
Totally. Between her demanding job, often working night shifts, and raising 2 active children, Maria was constantly overwhelmed. She was gaining weight despite good efforts, struggling to sleep, and feeling like she was aging rapidly. As she put it, I was only 38, but I felt ancient, exhausted, and completely in a fog.
Sound like burnout.
Classic burnout. Her introduction to mindfulness came through a stress reduction program at her hospital. She learned simple techniques she could practice anywhere. Mindful breathing during her commute, short body scan meditations before bed, and mindful eating during her lunch breaks, truly savoring each bite.
Integrating it into daily moments.
Exactly. She realized she didn't need to carve out huge, uninterrupted blocks of time. She could find little moments throughout her day to reset, refocus, and recenter herself. The results were dramatic. Better sleep, more sustained energy, reduced blood pressure, and she even lost 15 pounds without actively dieting.
Without dieting, just from managing stress better.
Just from managing stress and being more present. Most importantly, she felt like she had her life back under control, less reactive to the constant demands.
That's a huge shift in quality of life. Maria's story highlights the incredible adaptability of mindfulness. While traditional sitting meditation remains valuable, American practices have diversified to include walking meditation, mindful movement like Tai Chi and Qigong.
Things that combine movement and mindfulness.
Exactly. And even mindful engagement in daily activities like gardening or cooking, transforming chores into moments of presence. The key is to find practices that genuinely resonate with your personality and lifestyle, making them sustainable.
Find what works for you.
Right. Accessibility has soared thanks to user-friendly apps like Headspace and Calm, which offer guided sessions tailored to various durations and goals. Corporate America has widely adopted these tools.
Yeah, you see it everywhere now.
Google, Apple, even Goldman Sachs offer mindfulness programs. The military, too, has integrated mindfulness training to enhance stress management and mental resilience among soldiers facing high-pressure situations.
That's telling, if the military is using it.
It is. A particularly effective American innovation is micromeditation, brief mindfulness practices that can be done virtually anywhere, anytime. Dr. Andy Puddicombe, the founder of Headspace, advocates techniques like the 3-3-3 rule.
Okay, what's that?
When feeling overwhelmed, simply notice 3 things you can see, 3 things you can hear, and 3 things you can feel. This takes less than a minute, but can significantly reduce stress hormones and shift your state.
A quick reset button, I like that.
Exactly, a mental pause button.
And the implications for the workplace and sleep are huge, especially in what is often a sleep-deprived American society. Workplace stress is a massive health issue.
Huge costs associated with it.
Right, contributing to everything from heart disease and depression to increased sick days and reduced productivity. Companies that have implemented mindfulness programs often report reduced healthcare costs, fewer sick days, and significantly improved employee satisfaction and productivity.
Makes business sense, too.
Plus, mindfulness directly improves sleep quality. We know many Americans are notoriously sleep-deprived, often getting less than 7 hours a night. Mindfulness techniques can help quiet the racing mind that keeps so many awake.
The hamster wheel in the brain.
Exactly. Leading to deeper, more restorative sleep, which is absolutely crucial for longevity, as sleep is our body's nightly repair cycle.
Beyond stress and sleep, the cognitive benefits of mindfulness practice are equally vital for healthy aging. Regular meditation has been shown to increase gray matter density in specific brain regions associated with learning, memory, and emotional regulation.
Literally changing the brain structure.
Yes, building up those areas. It can also significantly reduce the rate of age-related cognitive decline and holds immense potential for dementia prevention by fostering mental flexibility.
Helping preserve brain function long-term.
Absolutely. One of the most powerful aspects of mindfulness for longevity is its impact on emotional regulation. As we age, our capacity to manage difficult emotions and navigate life's inevitable challenges becomes increasingly critical for both our mental and physical well-being.
Handling life's curveballs better.
Precisely. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them, fostering greater emotional resilience and leading to healthier, more stable relationships. The beauty of mindfulness practice lies in its profound accessibility.
Yeah, you don't need much to start.
No special equipment, expensive classes, or adherence to specific beliefs needed. It simply requires a willingness to pay attention to the present moment with an attitude of kindness and curiosity. This seemingly simple practice can literally reshape your brain, reduce your stress load, and ultimately add vibrant, healthy years to your life.
Fantastic. Now, at number 6, we're diving into a longevity secret that might just challenge everything you thought you knew about exercise.
Okay, challenging assumptions. I like it.
Yeah. Because what we're finding is that the longest living Americans aren't necessarily the ones pumping iron for hours every day or running marathons. They're the ones who have cleverly built natural, consistent movement into their daily lives, almost without thinking about it.
This is a crucial distinction indeed. Dr. Dan Buettner, who meticulously identified the world's blue zones regions, boasting the highest concentrations of centenarians, made a fascinating observation about physical activity in these long-lived populations.
Yeah, his work is fascinating. What did he find about movement?
They don't engage in structured gym memberships or rigid workout programs. Instead, their lives are inherently designed for natural, consistent movement. They walk to markets, tend vibrant gardens that require bending and lifting, regularly climb stairs, and perform physical work as an integral part of their daily routines.
Movement is just woven into their day.
Exactly. This profound insight is fundamentally reshaping how Americans perceive fitness for longevity. Rather than viewing exercise as a distinct, dedicated hour at the gym, the emerging paradigm emphasizes integrating movement throughout one's entire day.
So less about intense bursts, more about constant motion.
That's the idea. This approach, often termed exercise snacking or movement nutrition, is demonstrating remarkable benefits for both health span and lifespan.
Exercise snacking. I like the little bites of movement.
Little bites throughout the day.
That's powerful, and it directly addresses the growing concern of what's been termed sitting disease. We now understand that long periods of sitting literally counteract the benefits of even intense exercise.
Right. Sitting is the new smoking, they say.
Exactly. You could work out intensely for an hour at the gym, but if you sit for the remaining 15 hours of your waking day, you're still significantly increasing your risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and premature death.
Undoing all the good work.
Totally. Dr. James Levine at the Mayo Clinic coined the term sitting disease, and his research on non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT,
Neat, okay.
reveals that incorporating small, consistent movements throughout the day, whether it's fidgeting, standing, or walking, burns significantly more calories and improves metabolic health compared to those who intensely exercise but then remain largely sedentary.
So all those little movements add up.
They really do. Take James Patterson, a 67-year-old retired accountant from Indianapolis. After decades of sedentary office work, despite regular gym sessions, he struggled with persistent back pain and low energy.
A familiar story for many office workers.
Very familiar. He realized he was sitting over 12 hours a day. He redesigned his routine, not by adding more gym time, but by building more movement into his daily life, walking or biking errands instead of driving, using a standing desk for part of his day, setting an alarm for hourly movement breaks,
Smart, simple changes.
gardening for an hour in the evenings, and dancing with his wife in their living room. He wasn't exercising more hours, but he was moving consistently throughout the day.
Integrating it naturally.
And his back pain disappeared, his balance improved, and his energy soared.
Fantastic results. James's transformation beautifully illustrates the effectiveness of this pervasive movement approach. American workplaces are increasingly embracing this philosophy. Progressive companies are installing treadmill desks, encouraging walking meetings instead of sedentary conference room discussions.
Getting people out of their chairs.
Yes, and designing office layouts that necessitate movement between different work zones, like central printers or water coolers. Even the types of natural movement that promote longevity are surprisingly diverse and accessible.
Like what? What counts?
Everyday household activities like cleaning, cooking, and yard work all qualify as beneficial physical activity. Hobbies such as dancing, hiking, or simply engaging actively in play with grandchildren provide both movement and joy.
Playing with grandkids, great motivation.
Absolutely. Even fidgeting, those small unconscious movements we make, can contribute to improved health outcomes by keeping metabolism subtly elevated. A particularly American innovation gaining traction is functional fitness.
Functional fitness, okay. What's that about?
Exercises that precisely mimic movements performed in daily life. Rather than focusing on isolating individual muscles, functional fitness prioritizes integrated movements like squatting to pick something up, lifting, pushing, pulling, and balancing.
Training for real life.
Exactly. All of which enhance real-world mobility and make everyday tasks easier and safer as we age.
Here, the longevity benefits extend far beyond just cardiovascular health.
Oh, definitely. Regular physical activity stimulates the production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
BDNF, you mentioned that before. Brain fertilizer.
Brain fertilizer, exactly. It's crucial for growing new brain cells and protecting existing ones, directly supporting cognitive function and memory as we age. It also shores up bone density, maintains crucial muscle mass, and improves balance.
All things that help maintain independence.
Critically important for independence in later life and significantly reducing the risk of falls for older adults. The key, as you highlighted, is finding activities you genuinely enjoy and will stick with long term.
Because adherence is everything.
Absolutely, because let's be honest, the best workout in the world is useless if you can't adhere to it consistently. It's about finding that sustainable joy in movement.
Makes total sense.
Precisely. And the social aspect of movement should not be overlooked, tying back to our earlier point on community. Group activities like walking clubs, dance classes, or recreational sports leagues effectively combine physical activity with community connection.
Doubling up on the benefit.
Exactly, reinforcing two vital longevity secrets simultaneously. When movement is integrated into social life, it becomes less of a chore and more of an enjoyable, sustainable habit. The core message here is clear. Consistent, enjoyable, natural movement woven throughout your entire day is likely far more effective for long-term health and vitality than sporadic, intense workouts, no matter how rigorous.
Rethinking exercise completely.
It's about cultivating a life where movement is simply a natural part of being.
Okay, number 5. We hit what might be the most undervalued longevity tool in America. Quality sleep.
Ah, sleep. So crucial yet so neglected.
In our incredibly productivity-obsessed culture, sleep is often seen as either wasted time or a luxury we simply can't afford. But cutting-edge research is revealing that sleep isn't just about resting. It's when our bodies perform critical, profound maintenance that ultimately determines how well and how long we live.
That's a critical point. Dr. Matthew Walker, the acclaimed author of Why We Sleep and director of the Sleep and Neuroimaging Lab at UC Berkeley, unequivocally states that sleep is the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body health each day.
That's a bold statement from a leading expert.
It is. His extensive research demonstrates that consistently getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night is directly linked to a shortened lifespan, as well as a significantly increased risk of developing cancer, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease.
Basically all the major chronic diseases.
Pretty much. Crucially for us, it's not merely about the quantity of sleep, but its quality. Many Americans spend ample time in bed, yet fail to achieve truly restorative sleep.
Tossing and turning doesn't count.
Exactly. Often due to chronic stress, excessive technology use, suboptimal sleep environments, or undiagnosed underlying sleep disorders. Imagine your brain has a nightly cleaning crew that only shows up when you're in deep sleep.
Okay.
That's your glymphatic system, and its job is to flush out the toxic waste like the amyloid beta and tau proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Skimp on sleep, and you're essentially letting the trash pile up.
So sleep cleans your brain.
Literally, accelerating brain aging and neurodegeneration. Furthermore, sleep is the period when our bodies produce essential growth hormone, vital for tissue repair and regeneration. It's when our immune systems consolidate memories of pathogens, strengthening our defenses, and when our cells diligently repair DNA damage accumulated throughout the day.
Repairing DNA damage.
Wow. In essence, sleep is when aging reverses itself, or at least significantly slows down.
Sleep is when aging reverses itself. That's a powerful visual and honestly a wake-up call for many of us. And we have a compelling story that illustrates this beautifully. Sandra Williams, a 52-year-old marketing executive from Atlanta, truly transformed her health by prioritizing sleep. For over a decade, she'd been functioning on 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, fueled by excessive caffeine, wearing her sleep deprivation as a badge of honor.
So many people do that.
Right. Mistakenly believing it showed her dedication and work ethic. But her body was keeping score. She was gaining weight despite good diet and exercise. Her memory was declining, she was irritable, and getting sick frequently.
The body always keeps score.
Always. The turning point came when her doctor, concerned by her symptoms, ordered a sleep study, which revealed mild sleep apnea and severely fragmented sleep. She was only getting about 4 hours of restorative sleep, even when in bed for 7.
So the quality was terrible.
Terrible. Sandra, known for her decisive marketing strategies, applied the same rigor to her sleep. She embraced a CPAP machine, established a consistent bedtime routine, redesigned her bedroom into a true sleep sanctuary, and set strict tech boundaries. Took it seriously. Very seriously. No emails after 8 p.m., phone charging out of the bedroom. The transformation was remarkable. Within 3 months, she lost 15 pounds without changing diet or exercise.
Just from sleeping better.
Just from sleeping.
Right.
Her energy soared, her memory improved dramatically, and her relationships at home and work became noticeably more positive. She realized, I had been living my life in a fog. Good sleep didn't make me less productive. It made me incredibly more effective and vibrant in everything I did.
That's incredible. Sandra's story underscores several key factors identified by American sleep research that are vital for quality restorative sleep. Temperature regulation is paramount.
Temperature? Really?
Yes. The optimal bedroom temperature for most individuals is surprisingly cool, typically between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, to facilitate the body's natural drop in core temperature needed for sleep.
Cooler is better for sleep. Good to know.
Light exposure also profoundly impacts sleep quality. Even minimal amounts of light from streetlights or electronics can disrupt melatonin production, which explains the growing popularity of blackout curtains and eye masks.
Pitch black is ideal.
As dark as possible. The timing of sleep is equally crucial. Our bodies operate on natural circadian rhythms that dictate wakefulness and sleepiness. Americans with irregular schedules or those frequently crossing time zones often experience circadian disruption, which accelerates aging and increases disease risk.
Consistency is key for timing.
Very key. Technology presents a dual role in American sleep health. While blue light emitted from screens can suppress melatonin and stimulate alertness.
The enemy of sleep.
Right. Sleep tracking devices and apps are simultaneously empowering individuals to better understand their sleep patterns and identify areas for improvement. So, tech can be both a problem and a solution.
And what's interesting is the American innovation of sleep hygiene, treating sleep preparation with the same intentionality as personal hygiene.
Right, making it a routine.
This means cultivating consistent bedtime routines, creating truly sleep-conducive environments that are dark, quiet, and cool, meticulously managing caffeine and alcohol intake, and establishing firm boundaries around evening work or stimulating activities.
Setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. Many Americans are also discovering the power of natural sleep aids like magnesium or chamomile tea and embracing pre-sleep meditation to quiet a busy mind. We're seeing trends like cooling mattresses and weighted blankets being utilized to reduce anxiety and promote deeper sleep.
Lots of tools available now.
Even the workplace is starting to catch on, with some progressive companies offering nap pods, adjusting start times, and educating employees about the direct, undeniable link between quality sleep and performance.
Smart companies recognize the value. It's crucial to emphasize that sleep disorders are not minor inconveniences. They are serious health conditions that accelerate aging. Conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and chronic insomnia all significantly increase disease risk and demonstrably shorten lifespan.
So getting those treated is vital.
Absolutely vital. Seeking proper diagnosis and treatment for these conditions can literally add years, and crucially, quality years, to your life. The overarching message for Americans is unambiguous. Prioritizing quality sleep isn't a luxury or a sign of weakness. It is one of the most critical yet often neglected investments you can make in your long-term health and longevity.
Treat it like diet and exercise.
Exactly. Quality sleep should be regarded as equally important as healthy eating and regular exercise in any comprehensive approach to healthy aging. It's the silent foundation upon which all other longevity efforts are built.
Okay, foundation laid. Now, at number 4, we're diving into one of the most scientifically fascinating and increasingly popular longevity practices across America, intermittent fasting and the development of metabolic flexibility.
Ah, yes, IF. A hot topic.
Huge topic.
Yeah.
This isn't about extreme deprivation or restrictive dieting. It's about working with your body's natural rhythms to optimize cellular repair and enhance brain function, effectively giving your body a reset.
This is an incredibly exciting and rapidly evolving area of research. Dr. Walter Longo, director of USC's Longevity Institute, has been at the forefront of fasting research for over 2 decades.
Another pioneer.
Definitely. His extensive studies consistently demonstrate that various forms of intermittent fasting can trigger profound cellular processes that actively slow aging, significantly improve insulin sensitivity, reduce systemic inflammation, and even regenerate crucial immune system cells.
Oh, regenerating immune cells.
Yes, it's akin to giving your body a profound periodic maintenance cycle that is simply impossible when you are in a continuous state of food processing. The concept of metabolic flexibility is absolutely central to understanding the powerful longevity benefits of intermittent fasting.
Metabolic flexibility. Okay, break that down.
This refers to your body's innate ability to efficiently switch between utilizing glucose from the food you eat and stored fat from your body's reserves for fuel, depending on nutrient availability.
Switching fuel sources easily.
Exactly. Unfortunately, many of us, particularly within modern American eating patterns with frequent meals and high refined carbs, have largely lost this inherent flexibility, becoming overly dependent on a constant intake of glucose.
Stuck in sugar burning mode.
Pretty much. When you cultivate metabolic flexibility through intermittent fasting, your body becomes adept at utilizing stored fat for energy during fasting periods. This process generates ketones.
Ah, ketones. Like with the keto diet.
Yes, but fasting is another way to produce them. Ketones serve as a remarkably cleaner burning fuel for your brain and other vital organs. Furthermore, ketones trigger the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF.
BDNF again. Seems important.
Very important.
Yeah.
A powerful compound that promotes the growth of new brain cells and vigilantly protects existing ones.
So fasting is good for your brain too.
Potentially very good.
That makes so much sense that your body needs that deep maintenance.
Yeah.
And we have a great real-world application here. Dr. David Chen, a 58-year-old ER physician from San Francisco.
A doctor using it himself.
Yes. Despite his extensive medical knowledge, he was struggling with metabolic syndrome, high blood sugar, elevated blood pressure, and excess abdominal fat. He was on a clear path to diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
Even doctors aren't immune.
No one is. David decided to experiment with intermittent fasting, starting with a simple 16.8 protocol, eating within an 8-hour window and fasting for 16 hours. He explains, "As a doctor, I was skeptical but intrigued by the research coming out. I started slowly, just skipping breakfast and eating lunch and dinner within an 8-hour period, say from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m.
The 16.8 is very popular.
It is. The results were remarkable. Within 6 months, he lost 30 pounds, his blood sugar normalized, his blood pressure dropped to healthy levels, and his energy was stable during long hospital shifts. He notes, the most surprising benefit was mental clarity.
Mental clarity, we hear that a lot with fasting.
During fasting periods, my thinking became incredibly sharp and focused, almost like a fog had lifted.
Dr. Chen's experience highlights the powerful longevity mechanisms activated by intermittent fasting. During fasting periods, cells initiate autophagy.
Autophagy, cellular cleanup, right?
Exactly, a crucial process where they literally break down and meticulously recycle damaged components. Think of it as a thorough cellular cleaning and renovation crew coming through your body. This vital process naturally declines with age, but intermittent fasting effectively reactivates it, clearing out cellular junk.
Getting rid of the old damaged stuff.
Precisely. Fasting also stimulates the production of human growth hormone, which is essential for maintaining muscle mass, bone density, and overall metabolic health as we age, countering age-related decline.
Growth hormone boost, interesting.
It significantly reduces insulin levels and concurrently improves insulin sensitivity, offering robust protection against diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Moreover, fasting triggers the production of new mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells, which also tend to decline in number and function with advancing age, thus boosting cellular energy production.
Building better energy factories in our cells.
You got it.
So what are some of the popular intermittent fasting approaches Americans are successfully using, and how do they find the right fit for their lifestyles?
Well, the 16.8 method, as Dr. Chen used, is very common, where you eat within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours. There's also the 5.2 approach.
5 normal days, 2 low-calorie days.
Exactly, where you eat normally 5 days a week and significantly reduce calories, typically to 500, 600, on 2 non-consecutive days. Some individuals practice alternate day fasting or occasional 24-hour fasts for a more intense cellular reset.
Different levels of intensity.
Right. The key is truly finding an approach that aligns with your lifestyle, current health status, and comfort level. Lisa Thompson, a 45-year-old teacher from Denver with a demanding schedule, found that the 16.8 method seamlessly integrated into her routine.
How did it work for her?
She explained, I stop eating at 7 p.m. and don't eat again until 11 a.m. the next day. It actually simplified my life. No more rushing to prepare breakfast, no more late-night snacking, and I found I was less hungry throughout the morning.
Simplified things. Interesting.
Her experience also highlights another powerful benefit. Intermittent fasting often naturally leads to a reduction in overall calorie intake without the conscious effort or stress of restrictive dieting. When your eating window is compressed, you naturally tend to consume less while still feeling satisfied.
Less grazing, fewer overall calories, perhaps?
Often, yes. Beyond the physiological, American researchers are exploring the social and psychological benefits of intermittent fasting. Many practitioners report a significantly improved relationship with food, a reduction in obsessive thoughts about eating, and a heightened appreciation for meals.
More mindful eating, maybe?
Potentially. The structured nature of eating windows can also reduce decision fatigue around food choices. However, it's imperative to state that intermittent fasting is not universally appropriate.
Right. The cautions. Who shouldn't do it?
Individuals with certain medical conditions, pregnant or breastfeeding women, and those with a history of eating disorders should absolutely consult their healthcare providers before embarking on any fasting protocol. The approach absolutely needs to be personalized based on individual health status and specific goals, starting gradually and listening to your body.
Always check with your doctor first. Good advice. And what's interesting is how Americans are innovating by combining intermittent fasting with other longevity practices.
Yeah, stacking the benefits.
Many people find that fasting periods, with their heightened mental clarity and sustained energy, become ideal times for meditation, light exercise, or even focused creative work.
Leveraging that focused state.
Exactly. The inherent flexibility of intermittent fasting also makes it particularly suitable for American lifestyles because, unlike many restrictive diets that demand constant vigilance over what you eat, intermittent fasting primarily focuses on timing.
When you eat, not just what.
Right. This means you can still enjoy social meals, family gatherings, and cultural food traditions within your designated eating windows, making it less disruptive to your social life.
That makes it much more sustainable long-term.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Research, particularly Dr. Mark Mattson's work at Johns Hopkins, is increasingly exploring how intermittent fasting might be especially beneficial as we age, specifically in improving brain function and potentially preventing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
More potential brain benefits.
Yes. The ketones produced during fasting periods provide an exceptionally efficient fuel source for brain cells and may offer protection against age-related cognitive decline. The bottom line for Americans interested in longevity is that intermittent fasting provides a scientifically backed approach to significantly improve metabolic health, enhance cellular repair, and potentially extend lifespan.
A powerful tool in the toolkit.
Definitely. The key to success lies in initiating it gradually, attentively listening to your body's signals, and ultimately discovering an approach that genuinely enhances rather than complicates your life, leading to a feeling of greater control and vitality.
Okay, great summary. Moving on to secret number 3, we have something that's both incredibly accessible and profoundly powerful for brain health and preventing cognitive decline: continuous learning and cognitive stimulation.
Keeping the brain active.
This is particularly relevant in a culture that often views learning as something that ends with formal education. Americans who prioritize lifelong learning are really discovering its power to keep their minds sharp and vibrant.
Indeed. The revolutionary concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's astonishing ability to form new neural connections throughout our entire lives, has fundamentally reshaped our understanding of aging and cognition.
Neuroplasticity. The brain can change at any age.
Exactly. Dr. Michael Merzenich, often hailed as the father of neuroplasticity, has unequivocally demonstrated that our brains retain their capacity for change and adaptation well into our 90s and beyond. The critical element lies in consistently providing them with the right kind of stimulation through continuous learning and truly novel experiences.
Novelty seems key, not just doing the same old things.
Novelty and challenge. Research from the Rush Memory and Aging Project, which has diligently followed over 1,000 older adults for more than 2 decades, reveals that individuals who regularly engage in frequent cognitive activities have a remarkable 63% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease compared to those who rarely challenge their minds.
63% lower risk. Huge.
Huge reduction. Even more astounding, when these cognitively active individuals do exhibit brain pathology associated with Alzheimer's, they often do not display clinical symptoms. Their brains have effectively built up what researchers term cognitive reserve.
Cognitive reserve, like a buffer for the brain.
Exactly. A robust network of extraneural pathways that can compensate for age-related changes. Dr. Yakov Stern at Columbia University, a pioneer in cognitive reserve research, provides an excellent analogy.
Okay, love analogies.
Think of your brain like a highway system. If you only ever take the same route to work, a traffic jam will completely disrupt your commute. But if you know multiple route side streets, alternate highways, shortcuts, you can still reach your destination even when your usual path is blocked.
Building more roads in your brain.
That's it. This highway analogy perfectly encapsulates why continuous learning is so profoundly powerful for longevity. Every new skill you acquire, every challenging book you read, and every complex problem you solve meticulously creates new neural pathways. These pathways then serve as crucial backup routes when age-related changes inevitably occur in your brain, essentially giving your brain more options.
That analogy perfectly illustrates the concept. It makes me wonder then, what kind of learning is most effective? We hear a lot about crossword puzzles or Sudoku, but does the research point to a particular type of cognitive challenge that builds that cognitive reserve most effectively?
That's a great question, because not all cognitive activity is created equal in this regard.
And while you're thinking, I have an incredibly inspiring story here. Eleanor Rodriguez, a 73-year-old retired librarian from Albuquerque.
Okay.
After her husband passed, she was left with time and a desire to live life to the fullest. Instead of a quiet retirement, she embarked on an ambitious learning journey. At age 74, she enrolled in a computer programming class at her local community college.
Wow, programming at 74, that's challenging.
Seriously challenging. She laughed, saying the other students were mostly in their 20s, and she initially felt entirely out of place, even a bit intimidated. But she quickly discovered an aptitude for logical thinking and problem solving. She didn't stop there.
Kept going.
Kept going. She went on to learn web design, started a blog about senior living, and even created a simple app to help older adults connect with local services. Today, at 78, she not only teaches technology classes to other seniors, but also consults for nonprofit organizations.
That's amazing. Truly lifelong learning in action.
Right. She says learning programming changed how I think about problems in every area of my life. I approach challenges more systematically now, and I'm not afraid to tackle complex projects that would have intimidated me before.
Building confidence and new ways of thinking.
Her experience highlights two key principles for longevity learning. First, acquiring completely new skills, not just deepening existing knowledge, forces the brain to create novel neural networks. And second, the most beneficial learning engages multiple cognitive processes simultaneously.
Like programming involves logic, problem solving, memory.
Exactly. Logical reasoning, problem solving, attention, memory, and creativity all at once, giving your brain a full workout.
Eleanor's journey truly encapsulates the spirit. And to your question about what kind of learning is most effective, there's fascinating research by Dr. Denise Park at UT Dallas. She conducted a study where older adults engaged in different activities.
Okay, comparing activity.
Yes. Some learned completely new, complex skills like quilting or digital photography, while a control group did familiar activities like crossword puzzles or Sudoku. Brain scans revealed that only the groups learning completely new, complex skills.
Only the new complex skill groups.
Right. Only those groups, like quilting or digital photography, showed measurable increases in neural efficiency and connectivity. This really challenges the popular belief that just doing crossword puzzles or Sudoku is enough for robust brain health.
So familiar puzzles aren't building new highways, so to speak.
They might maintain existing roads, but they don't seem to build the new ones as effectively as tackling something truly novel and challenging. While those familiar activities are enjoyable and keep certain cognitive functions active, they don't force the brain to create the kind of robust, novel neural changes associated with truly new, complex learning.
Good to know. need to push ourselves out of our cognitive comfort zone.
Exactly. American seniors are embracing these learning opportunities in unprecedented numbers. Community colleges are reporting growing enrollment among older adults, with many institutions offering programs specifically designed for lifelong learners.
It's becoming more common.
Definitely. These are not merely hobby classes. Older Americans are actively pursuing degrees, initiating new careers, and tackling intellectual challenges that were previously unattainable during their working lives. The University of the Third Age movement, while originating in France, has found enthusiastic adoption across America, fostering vibrant learning communities specifically for older adults.
Learning communities for seniors.
Yes. These programs offer a vast array of subjects, from art history and philosophy to science and technology courses, all taught at a high academic level, but without the pressure of grades or formal credentials. Technology has also democratized access to learning for longevity.
Online learning makes it easier.
Hugely. Online platforms like Coursera, edX, and Khan Academy enable Americans to access world-class education from the comfort of their homes. Virtual reality is even being utilized to provide immersive learning experiences, ranging from virtual tours of historical sites to hands-on science experiments, making learning engaging and accessible.
VR for learning, interesting.
And what's interesting is the social aspect, too. Learning with others clearly combines cognitive stimulation with social connection.
Right, hitting two secrets at once again.
That's a crucial distinction. The social aspect of learning also significantly contributes to its longevity benefits. Many Americans are discovering that engaging in learning with others, whether in formal classes, study groups, or informal learning communities, provides a powerful combination of cognitive stimulation and social connection, reinforcing two vital longevity secrets simultaneously.
Learning together strengthens bonds.
Absolutely. Book clubs, discussion groups, and collaborative learning projects seamlessly merge intellectual challenge with relationship building. Furthermore, creative learning appears to be particularly potent for brain health. Americans are increasingly taking up painting, music, writing, and other creative pursuits later in life.
The arts and brain health.
Yes, finding that artistic expression engages unique brain networks and fosters emotional well-being. Dr. Gene Cohen's research on creativity and aging revealed that older adults who participated in creative activities exhibited better physical health, fewer doctor visits, and improved cognitive function compared to control groups.
So being creative is good for your health, too.
It seems so. The key insight for Americans pursuing learning for longevity is that it is genuinely never too late to begin. The brain's remarkable capacity for change does not significantly diminish with age, provided it is consistently challenged with novel experiences.
Never too late. That's encouraging.
Whether you are 45 considering a career change, 65 contemplating retirement activities, or 85 wondering if it's too late to learn a new language, the research conclusively states that you can benefit from continuous learning at any age. Think of brain exercise in a similar way to physical exercise.
Consistency over intensity.
Consistency matters more than intensity. Just as you wouldn't expect to become physically fit by exercising intensely once a month, cognitive fitness demands regular mental challenges. And like physical exercise, you need to progressively increase the difficulty to continue seeing benefits and building that valuable cognitive reserve.
Keep challenging yourself.
The Americans who are aging most successfully view their later years not as a period of inevitable decline, but as an exciting opportunity for sustained growth and discovery. They are actively disproving the old adage that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Believing you can't learn new things actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that ironically accelerates cognitive aging.
Mindset matters hugely here. Okay, we're down to our top two. At number 2, we have a longevity approach that seems obvious, but is surprisingly underutilized by many in America.
The seemingly obvious ones are often tricky.
They are. It's comprehensive preventive healthcare and early intervention. We spend an enormous amount on healthcare in this country, but much of that spending is aimed at treating diseases after they've already caused significant damage.
Reactive rather than proactive.
Exactly. The longest living Americans are those who have truly mastered the art of prevention and who navigate the system proactively.
It's a critical paradox in our healthcare system, indeed. Dr. David Feinberg, formerly CEO of Google Health and now head of Oracle Health, articulates it precisely. The American healthcare system is incredibly good at treating acute problems. If you have a heart attack, we can save your life.
We're good in emergencies.
Very good. But we're not nearly as good at preventing that heart attack from happening in the first place. The people who live longest are those who never need our crisis interventions because they've prevented the crises from ever reaching that point.
Avoiding the crisis altogether, that's the goal.
That's the essence of prevention. The bedrock of preventive healthcare for longevity begins with a deep understanding of your personal risk factors. This extends far beyond merely annual physicals, important though they are.
Going deeper than the standard checkup.
Much deeper. It entails a comprehensive assessment encompassing your genetics, lifestyle factors, environmental exposures, and crucially, early biomarkers of aging and disease. Advanced testing is becoming increasingly accessible to Americans who prioritize prevention.
What kind of advanced tests are we talking about?
This includes detailed cardiovascular risk assessment through coronary calcium scoring and advanced lipid panels that look beyond basic cholesterol numbers. For cancer, early detection can involve liquid biopsies and sophisticated imaging like whole-body MRIs.
Catching things much earlier.
Much, much earlier. Neurological health can be assessed via detailed cognitive testing and brain imaging. And metabolic health can be thoroughly evaluated using continuous glucose monitoring and advanced insulin sensitivity tests, catching problems long before they manifest as diabetes.
Getting a really detailed picture of your internal health.
Exactly. A proactive snapshot.
That's a stark but important distinction, shifting from reactive to proactive. And we have a compelling proactive example in Dr. Susan Kim, a 61-year-old pediatrician from Portland, Oregon.
Another physician taking proactive steps.
Yes. She initially followed the standard healthcare model for herself, but at 55, decided to be much more proactive about her own health. She began working with a longevity-focused physician who conducted comprehensive testing beyond standard screenings. The results were eye-opening.
What did they find?
While she appeared healthy by conventional measures, advanced testing revealed elevated inflammatory markers, high insulin resistance, a genetic risk for Alzheimer's, and early arterial plaque. Things missed by standard tests.
Underlying issues hiding beneath the surface.
Exactly. Armed with this granular knowledge, Susan and her physician developed a highly personalized prevention plan. She modified her diet to dramatically reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity, began a targeted supplement regimen based on her unique genetic profile.
Personalized medicine in action.
Truly. Started a more intensive and diversified exercise program, and diligently optimized her sleep and stress management. 6 years later, her follow-up testing showed remarkable improvements. Normalized inflammatory markers, significantly improved insulin sensitivity, and no progression of arterial disease.
Reversed or halted the progression. Amazing.
She reports feeling better, more energetic and sharper at 61 than she did at 55, and, crucially, she has confidence that she's doing everything possible to age successfully, not just passively.
That confidence must be empowering. Susan's proactive approach beautifully illustrates several core principles of preventive health care for longevity. Firstly, it's highly personalized, tailored to individual risk factors rather than generic recommendations.
Not one size fits all.
Definitely not. Secondly, it leverages advanced testing to identify potential issues years or even decades before they would typically manifest symptoms. Thirdly, and critically, it focuses on addressing root causes rather than merely treating symptoms.
Getting to the why behind the problem.
Exactly. American healthcare is gradually embracing this preventative model with concierge medicine practices, executive health programs, and specialized longevity clinics rapidly growing, though equitable access can still be a challenge.
Access is definitely an issue to consider.
It is. Many Americans are taking charge of their own preventative health by becoming highly educated consumers. They are actively learning to interpret their lab results, understanding the distinction between optimal and merely normal values, and advocating for more comprehensive testing when appropriate.
Being your own health advocate.
Crucial. The role of technology in preventive healthcare is also expanding rapidly. Wearable devices now offer continuous monitoring of glucose levels, heart rate variability, sleep quality, and can even detect early signs of illness or stress patterns.
Wearables giving us more data.
Lots more data. Smartphone applications provide basic vision and hearing tests, monitor cognitive function, and track symptoms over time, putting more data directly into the individual's hands.
And genetic testing has become such a powerful tool in this.
Yeah.
How does understanding our genetic predispositions allow for targeted prevention beyond just knowing your family history?
It's about precision and foresight. For example, if someone has genetic variants associated with a higher cardiovascular risk, they might benefit from earlier and more aggressive lipid management strategies.
Tailoring treatment based on genes.
Exactly. starting with lifestyle and perhaps medication earlier than someone without that genetic predisposition. Or, if genetic factors affect how they metabolize certain medications, it could influence drug selection or dosing, avoiding side effects or optimizing efficacy. The importance of early intervention cannot be overstated.
Catching things early makes all the difference.
All the difference. Most of the chronic diseases prevalent in America, heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, and Alzheimer's, develop over decades before symptoms even appear. By the time they're typically diagnosed through conventional means, significant, often irreversible, damage has already occurred.
The damage is done by the time symptoms show up often.
Often. Preventive healthcare aims to identify and address these pathological processes in their earliest, most nascent stages, when intervention is most effective and damage can be minimized, halted, or even reversed. It's about catching small issues before they become big problems.
Makes perfect sense.
Environmental factors also play a critical role in preventive healthcare for longevity. Americans are increasingly aware of how environmental toxins, air pollution, and chemical exposures in everyday products can accelerate aging and elevate disease risk.
Our environment impacts our health span too.
Significantly. Consequently, many are proactively investing in air purification systems for their homes, opting for organic foods to reduce pesticide exposure, and diligently choosing personal care products free from potentially harmful chemicals. The preventative approach extends to mental and cognitive health as well.
Protecting the brain proactively.
Yes, regular, often self-administered cognitive assessments can detect subtle, early signs of memory problems or changes in processing speed that might indicate an increased risk for dementia long before a formal diagnosis. Early intervention in these cases, through targeted cognitive training, specific lifestyle adjustments, and sometimes even medications, can significantly slow or potentially prevent progression.
Catching cognitive decline early is key.
Very key. Hormone optimization represents another frontier where preventive healthcare can profoundly impact longevity. As we age, the levels of various essential hormones naturally decline.
Like testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone.
Exactly. Contributing to muscle loss, decreased bone density, cognitive changes, and reduced energy. Bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, when judiciously managed and monitored by a qualified practitioner, can help maintain optimal hormone levels and potentially slow aspects of biological aging, contributing to vitality.
But needs careful management.
Absolutely requires careful, qualified management. The cornerstone of successful preventative health care is finding practitioners who genuinely understand longevity medicine and are willing to look beyond standard treatment guidelines, adopting a holistic, proactive approach.
Finding the right doctor is important.
Crucial. This may involve seeking out physicians specializing in functional medicine, anti-aging medicine, or dedicated longevity clinics. However, it's crucial to note that you don't necessarily require expensive concierge medicine to benefit from these preventative principles. Many proactive measures are accessible through traditional healthcare if you know what specific questions to ask for and advocate for yourself.
You can still be proactive in the standard system.
Definitely. Being proactive about recommended screenings, meticulously maintaining your health records, and confidently advocating for comprehensive, personalized care are actionable steps any American can take to empower themselves and take charge of their own aging process.
And it sounds like the longest living Americans view healthcare not as something that happens to them, but as a true partnership.
That's exactly right.
They stay informed about their health metrics, understand their individual risk factors, and proactively collaborate with their providers to optimize their health span and lifespan.
That's absolutely right. It's about informed, continuous collaboration, where you are an active participant in your own health journey.
Which brings us to the pinnacle, our #1 secret, the most fundamental one practiced by the longest living Americans: building and maintaining strong, meaningful relationships throughout life.
The #1 spot. Relationships.
We've touched on community connections, but this goes deeper. It's about the sheer quality of your closest relationships and how they literally influence your biology at the cellular level, shaping your health and happiness profoundly.
This is truly the core, the surprising bedrock of longevity. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, which has been diligently running for an astonishing 85 years.
85 years. Incredible study.
Stands as the longest-running study of human happiness and health ever conducted. Dr. Robert Waldinger, the study's current director, succinctly summarizes 8 decades of findings with a powerful, unequivocal statement. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period.
Simple, powerful message. Relationships matter most.
Fundamentally, the research extends far beyond mere happiness. Strong, high-quality relationships have been conclusively shown to boost immune function, reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, significantly improve heart health, enhance cognitive function, and even lengthen telomeres.
Lengthen telomeres. Wow, relationships do that.
The evidence points that way. Those protective caps on chromosomes that naturally shorten with age. Individuals with robust social relationships live an average of 3.7 years longer than those without.
Almost 4 extra years.
And critically, the quality of those relationships holds far more weight than their sheer quantity. Dr. Julianne Holt-Lundstad's landmark research at Brigham Young University further highlights this by finding that the influence of social relationships on mortality risk is comparable to well-established risk factors like smoking and alcohol consumption.
As impactful as smoking or drinking.
Yes, and actually exceeds the influence of other risk factors such as physical inactivity and obesity. In essence, profound loneliness and poor relationships can be as detrimental to your health as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
That puts it in stark perspective.
Yeah.
Loneliness is that dangerous.
It really is. The biological mechanisms underlying this relationship longevity connection are both profound and intricate. Strong relationships activate the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest response.
Calming the nervous system.
Yes, which actively promotes healing, mitigates inflammation, and supports healthy immune function. They also serve as vital buffers against stress by providing essential emotional support and practical assistance during challenging times, thereby reducing the production of stress hormones that accelerate aging.
So good relationships protect us from stress physically.
They absolutely do, a biological buffer.
That makes so much sense. That feeling of safety and connection can literally buffer you from stress. And we have a beautiful long-term love story here. Maria and Tony Castellano, married for 58 years and now both in their early 80s, living in a small town in Ohio.
58 years, wow.
They've navigated all the typical challenges of a long marriage. But what truly sets them apart is how consciously they've strengthened their relationship over decades. Maria explains, "We learned early that marriage is a choice you make every day, not just on your wedding day."
Love as an action, not just a feeling.
Exactly. When we were younger, we thought love was a feeling. Now we know it's an action. It's what we do for each other consistently. They've developed cherished daily rituals, morning coffee together where they share their thoughts for the day, a daily walk where they catch up, and a weekly date night they've maintained for over 40 years.
Those rituals build connection.
Consistently, no matter how busy life got. And their relationship extends beyond romance. When Tony suffered a mild stroke 3 years ago, Maria became his primary caregiver. Instead of seeing it as a burden, they viewed it as another opportunity to deepen their partnership and commitment.
Facing challenges together strengthen them.
Right. Maria said, "Taking care of Tony isn't something I have to do, it's something I get to do. He took care of me through my cancer treatment 15 years ago. This is simply what we do for each other. It's a shared journey."
Beautiful reciprocity.
Their story really shows intentional cultivation, mutual support, and viewing life's challenges not as obstacles to their connection, but as opportunities to grow stronger together.
The Castellanos' profound connection exemplifies the characteristics of relationships that undeniably promote longevity. Trust and reliability form the bedrock. Knowing you can unequivocally count on someone and that they can rely on you fosters a deep sense of security.
That feeling of safety again.
Which, in turn, effectively reduces stress and enhances overall well-being. Emotional intimacy, the profound ability to share your true thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment, provides the deep human connection essential for thriving. Regular positive interactions are also paramount.
The day-to-day small things matter.
Hugely. Research by Dr. John Gottman on marital stability found that the ratio of positive to negative interactions is a powerful predictor of relationship success, with thriving couples maintaining approximately 5 positive interactions for every negative one.
The 5-to-1 ratio. Keep the positivity high.
Exactly. These longevity benefits extend beyond romantic partnerships to encompass deep friendships, close family relationships, and meaningful connections with community members, all contributing to health and longevity by providing diverse forms of support. Emotional during difficult times, practical for daily challenges, and social for connection and belonging.
So it's your whole network, not just a partner.
Their whole inner circle, yes.
And that's critical today because Americans face unique challenges in building and maintaining strong relationships. Geographic mobility separates families, busy work schedules limit time for cultivation, and technology, while connecting us.
It can also isolate us.
Right, can often create superficial connections, leading to profound loneliness despite being more connected than ever. But individuals and communities are finding innovative ways. Multi-generational living is becoming more common, and chosen family networks are forming, where unrelated individuals create mutual support systems, blurring traditional definitions of family.
Adapting to modern challenges.
Even the workplace is evolving, with progressive companies designing spaces for interaction, promoting mentorship programs, and offering flexible schedules to support family relationships. Thoughtful use of technology, like video calls and scheduling apps, also helps maintain real connections across distances.
Using tech intentionally for connection.
Making sure physical separation doesn't mean emotional disconnection.
Furthermore, the quality of your relationships with healthcare providers can significantly impact your longevity. Americans who cultivate strong, trusting relationships with their doctors often receive superior care, are more likely to adhere to treatment recommendations, and experience reduced stress associated with health issues.
Trusting your doctor matters.
Feeling like a partner in their care rather than a passive recipient. Building these crucial relationships requires being an engaged patient, communicating openly about your concerns, and truly viewing healthcare as a collaborative partnership.
Being an active participant.
For Americans aspiring to harness the profound longevity power of relationships, intentionality is key. Strong relationships are not accidental. They demand time, dedicated effort, and the continuous development of skills.
Relationships take work.
They absolutely do. This includes learning effective communication techniques, honing conflict resolution abilities, and consciously prioritizing relationship time within often busy schedules, treating it as an investment. One particularly potent practice is regularly expressing gratitude to the important people in your life.
Saying thank you goes a long way.
A very long way. Research consistently shows that couples who frequently express appreciation for one another forge stronger, more satisfying relationships, and friends who acknowledge and thank each other maintain closer bonds over time. Another critical skill is the capacity for vulnerability and authenticity within relationships.
Being real with people.
Exactly. Superficial connections simply do not provide the profound health benefits associated with truly strong reciprocal bonds. You genuinely need at least a few relationships where you can be completely yourself, share both your struggles and your successes, and receive unconditional acceptance and unwavering support.
Having people you can truly count on.
The Americans who are aging most successfully inherently understand that relationships are not merely a pleasant addition to life, they are a fundamental prerequisite for health and longevity. They invest in their relationships with the same intentionality they might dedicate to their careers or financial futures.
Treating relationships as a priority.
Recognizing that the caliber of their connections will largely determine the quality and joy of their later years. As we age, relationships become even more vital for longevity. Physical changes, health challenges, and life transitions can be profoundly isolating if we lack robust support networks.
We need support more as we age.
Definitely. However, Americans who have meticulously cultivated deep, meaningful relationships throughout their lives discover that these connections provide the resilience, profound purpose, and abiding joy that sustain them through any challenges aging might bring, creating a powerful, enduring support system.
Wow. So relationships are truly number one.
The research points strongly in that direction. As we conclude this deep dive into America's top 10 longevity secrets, it's crucial to recognize that these aren't isolated strategies to be implemented one at a time.
They all work together.
Exactly. The Americans who are living longest and healthiest fundamentally grasp how these secrets work synergistically, creating a comprehensive approach to healthy aging that is far greater than the sum of its individual parts. What's truly fascinating here is how these elements create a virtuous cycle, amplifying each other's benefits.
Like a positive feedback loop.
Precisely. Consider how strong relationships provide the vital social support that makes it significantly easier to maintain healthy habits like regular exercise and good nutrition. Quality sleep, in turn, enhances your capacity to effectively manage stress and make sound decisions about your health.
Sleep helps you handle stress better.
Continuous learning keeps your mind sharp and engaged, which helps you stay deeply connected in meaningful relationships and actively pursue your life's purpose. And crucially, preventive healthcare identifies potential issues early, granting you more valuable time to address them through targeted lifestyle changes rather than reactive medical interventions.
Giving you a head start.
Exactly, giving you a head start.
That's the empowering message here. You absolutely don't need to be perfect at all 10 of these secrets to benefit. Start with what resonates most with you, or where you see the greatest opportunity for immediate improvement in your own life.
Start small, be consistent.
Exactly. As you build success in one area, you'll very often find it becomes easier to adopt practices in other areas, creating a positive ripple effect. The ultimate goal here isn't simply to live longer, but to maintain vitality, independence, and joy throughout the entire aging process.
Adding life to years, like you said at the start.
It's truly about optimizing human potential at every single stage of life, ensuring your later years are rich and fulfilling. The research is unequivocally clear. Aging well isn't solely determined by your genetics.
Genes aren't destiny.
Right. While our genes certainly provide the initial blueprint, our lifestyle choices, the quality of our relationships, and our daily habits are what truly determine how that blueprint is expressed and how long and well we live. The Americans who are thriving in their 80s, 90s, and even beyond aren't necessarily those who won the genetic lottery.
Not just luck.
Not just luck. They are, overwhelmingly, those who made consistent, intentional choices about how to live their lives and adapt as they go. As you consider implementing these longevity secrets, remember that small, consistent changes almost always lead to more lasting results than dramatic, unsustainable overhauls.
Sustainability is key.
Choose one or two areas to focus on initially, build those habits solidly, and then gradually expand your personal longevity toolkit. Most importantly, remember that it's never too early or truly too late to start.
Any age is the right age to start.
Whether you're 25 and building the foundation for a long, healthy life, or 75 and wondering if it's still worth making changes, the research consistently shows that positive lifestyle changes can provide significant benefits at any age. The longest living Americans understand that longevity isn't about perfection. It's about progress, adaptation, and the profound wisdom to focus on what matters most in your life.
Progress, not perfection.
They've learned that the best longevity strategy is one you can sustain over the long term, one that genuinely enhances rather than restricts your enjoyment of life. Your longevity journey starts with the very next choice you make. Make it a good one.